Hey, all. It's that time of the week again where we talk about all of the depredations our state legislature is planning to place upon us. So the long, long nightmare is almost over. Our legislators have shown us that by and large, they're not interested in actually representing us. So let's strap in and let's get ready to do this. First of all, I've just gone ahead and put the contact information for our Bonneville County reps right there close to the top in the description, as well as the contact information for Governor Little, because this is stuff we're going to need. We're just going to need this stuff. So there it is. It's ready to go. It's near the top of the description. So when you are ready to make your phone calls, make your phone calls when you're ready to send your emails, when you're ready to do that stuff, it is there. All right, so first of all, we have been talking about this Senate Bill 1204 for a while. We've been excited about it because it was a reasonable it was a reasonable compromise. We've been talking about it as the reasonable compromise bill for Medicaid expansion. We've been lauding the Senate for their wonderfulness, and now we've got a dumpster fire. What the Senate did today is they went ahead and they amended Senate Bill 1204. So they added a bunch of amendments, and basically the amendments make it House Bill 277. So in case you've lost track of things, I know it's hard for me to lose track of things. I literally have to sit down at the end of the day, go through everything and say, okay, well, what happened today? So that's understandable. So what ended up happening was the House passed, they passed HB 277. It went to the Senate Health and Welfare Committee. And this is the terrible bill. This is a terrible bill that is not only work requirement bills, but it also includes the requirement that women who would like family planning services like birth control, pregnancy care. So like while you're pregnant and you want prenatal care, like you can't just go to an OBGYN. If you're using Medicaid, you can't just go to an OBGYN to get help through your pregnancy. You have to actually visit your doctor and then have them refer them to you as a specialist, like have them refer you to them as a specialist. So this is just frustrating because it specifically targets women, and it specifically targets women who might be of a lower economic socioeconomic situation. So this is just disgusting. So anyway, this is what they've added to Senate Bill 1204, and it makes me so angry. So what they did was they took Senate Bill 1204, which we were happy about. They took that bill and turned it into a hot mess of stupidity. So basically the whole thing was last week they killed HB 277 in the Senate committee to make us think that everything was fine and that we would go away. They thought, oh, well, we'll lull them. We'll kill this terrible bill. But then they turn around and they made Senate Bill 1204 basically the same bullshit. So now we've got the same thing, but now it's made it out of the Senate. It's going to the House tomorrow, because of course it is. They always ram this crap through. So they're trying to ram this through. So it is no longer our preferred method, unfortunately. So now we need to ask House Health and Welfare to say no. And then when they send it to the House, we need to ask our representatives to say no. And then when they send it to the governor's desk, we're going to beg Governor Little to please veto this crap. So that's where we're at again. So this is our last chance. We have been doing this whole session because this entire session they have brought out Medicaid sabotage bill after Medicaid sabotage bill after Medicaid sabotage bill. And we keep fighting them back, and they keep bringing out something else. Well, now they're rushing to the end of the session here, because it's April, and they couldn't just do the people's business and be done with it. No, no, no. They have to make it complicated, and they have to take away our rights. So that's what they've been doing this session. They've been fighting with us this session, and if they just do the people's business, they'd be home already. But they're not. They're still trying to fight us, and they're still trying to take our rights. So let them know that SB 1204 is no longer acceptable with these amendments. It is not acceptable. We do not want it. We want the Medicaid expansion that we voted for. That is what we want. So anyway, let them know, and let's get ready to ask Governor Little to veto this. So our next object of fun is Senate Bill 1159, that old chestnut. So it turns out that the governor's office received more than 2,000 phone calls at the end of last week. Only 9 of them were in support of Senate Bill 1159. Reclaim Idaho just delivered more than 10,000 signatures on a petition, an online petition. So they just delivered those to the governor. But even if the governor does in fact veto 1159, the House has got us covered with something else. So the House is bringing out what is called a trailer bill. It is HB 296. It goes to state affairs first thing in the morning. It's stupid, it's annoying, and it's what we're still dealing with. So basically, it makes a few tweaks to 1159, but it still is impossible. It is basically the equivalent, as one person said, it is the equivalent of asking us to scale a 30-foot wall instead of a 40-foot wall. It's still impossible for anybody to do unless they have millions of dollars to pay paid signature gatherers. Who has millions of dollars to pay paid signature values? Oh, lobbied special interests from out of state, dark PAC money. That's who has the financial backing to collect these signatures. So basically, once again, HB 296 is pretty much as bad as 1159. It pretty much accomplishes the same thing. It's a way for them to take away our rights of ballots initiative that we have in the Idaho Constitution without changing the Idaho Constitution. It is disgusting, it is awful, and it is just ridiculous. So once again, get in there. There's a link to the members of the Senate Affairs Committee, so the Senate State Affairs Committee. So go ahead, send them emails tonight or first thing in the morning. I'm not sure exactly when the hearing is, because when I was looking at it, they hadn't put up their amended schedule yet. You know, it's hard to get the public there to, you know, give testimony when you don't give them time and you don't tell them what time the hearing will be. You know, I mean, that makes it easy, because then you just cut the citizens out because you're not telling them or giving them enough time to do anything. So anyway, contact them, let them know. So yeah, and then once again, get ready to contact Governor Little and ask for a veto, because that's where we're at right now. Right now, we are to the point where our representatives aren't listening to us. They are, instead of representing us, representing moneyed interests and their own pocketbooks. And so now the governor is our last line of defense, and so he is our last hope on both Medicaid expansion and maintaining our right to legislate by ballot initiative. All right, so next, if you are tired of this BS like I am, join us to take action. We are holding our Peace to End Politics. It is about running for office, but it's not just for people who want to run for office. It's also for people who are willing to help those who are running for office. So if you're interested in helping on a campaign, if you're interested in helping with voter ID or issues ID or getting out the vote and just helping people be educated on the issues and letting them know, you know, what's at stake, come to this Pizza and Politics so that you can sign up, so you can help us out, so you can learn what it takes to run for office or to help somebody run for office. If you are tired of this BS, then it's something we need to do. A few weeks ago, I was at a City Club luncheon where former Justice Jim Jones was speaking, and he said, "You are the government." That's what he said. You are the government. And if we are going to continue to be the government and practice our citizen oversight, we need to take action, and we need to stop letting these people run our state. because they are not running it on our behalf. So it's time for us to take action. So join us next week. Yes, a week from Saturday. So join us on April 13th, 12 p.m. at the College of Eastern Idaho in room 6163, and there is a link to the Facebook event right there. April 13th is going to be busy. So after you join us for Pizza and Politics, we'll be done, go home, work in the yard, take a nap, whatever, and then at 5 p.m., come on out to the Friendship Garden. Some community members, some citizens have put together an inclusive community rally. It is designed to provide an alternative view of our community because certain leaders in our community have invited David Barton, whose reactionary and exclusionary brand of historical revision has been debunked over and over again, to speak in our community. So there is an NPR, there's a link to a story of David Barton. One of his main shticks is to get to a friendly audience who's not interested in fact checking and claim that the Constitution is littered with biblical phrases. He'll even give actual Bible references. He'll give you a Bible book, chapter, and verse, and just say, oh, it's like this verbatim or whatever. And then if you actually look it up, you'll find out that it's not there. So he basically just makes stuff up and puts it out there. Most, respected historians have debunked his stuff. And yeah, he's a big fan. If he's got his wall builders community, yes, you can figure that out. And he has advocated quite heavily against LGBTQ rights. So, so this is a man who has been invited into our community to speak and to act in some ways as a representative of who we are as a community. And if that is not your brand of community togetherness, we encourage you to join this this community rally. Please come. It would be great. John Radford is the main organizer, the main host. Quite a few people are helping him out with it, and and I personally am excited about it. I think it'll be a really good event, and it's something that sends a message that hate doesn't need to be a defining characteristic of our community, and it doesn't need to be a defining characteristic of our leaders. So find some information about that on the Facebook event. We would love to see you there. So please know that there are people in the community who you can connect with, who are tired of the way things are going, and who really do want to see a greater love in our community and a greater inclusive and supportive community. So if you want to be a part of that, please join us. Please sign up to spend more time with us. Come to these types of community events with us. Connect with people who are like-minded. And it's not about partisan politics. Like this sort of community event, our Pizza and Politics, all of that stuff, affordable healthcare, access to healthcare, the ability to practice citizen oversight and make sure that we retain our rights. These things are not partisan issues. Dignity afforded to all humans and our citizens, dignity afforded to every Idahoan, no matter what your gender identity, your religion, your race, your ethnicity, your creed, your sexual identity, all of that stuff, your sexual preferences, all of that stuff, like being accorded human dignity should not be a partisan issue. None of these things should be partisan issues. So when I say come and join with like-minded people, I'm talking about like-minded people no matter your partisan affiliation, no matter your party affiliation, or even if you don't have a party affiliation, come and join us, come get together, because the reality is we are all Idahoans and we all care about each other, and there is no reason to keep letting this sort of divisiveness define us in our community.